After the plagues, when Pharaoh let the people go, God did not lead them by way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For God thought, if the people face war, they may change their minds and return to Egypt. So God led the people by the roundabout way of the wilderness toward the Red Sea. The Israelites went up out of the land of Egypt, prepared for battle. The Lord went in front of them in a pillar of cloud by day, to lead them along the way, in a pillar of fire by night, to give them light, so that they may travel by day and by night. Neither the pillar of cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night, left its place in front of the people. Then the Lord said to Moses,
"Tell the Israelites to turn back and camp by the sea. Pharaoh will say to the Israelites, they are wandering aimlessly in the land. The wilderness has closed in on them. I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and he will pursue them, so that I will gain glory for myself over Pharaoh and all of his army. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord."
And they did so. When the king of Egypt was told that the people had fled, the minds of the Pharaoh and his officials were changed toward the people, and they said,
"What have we done, letting Israel leave our service?"
So he had his chariot made ready, and took his army with him. The Egyptians pursued them, all Pharaoh's horses and chariots, his chariot drivers and his army. They overtook them camped by the sea. As Pharaoh grew near, the Israelites looked back, and there were the Egyptians advancing on them. In great fear the Israelites cried out to the Lord,
"Moses, why do you cry out to me? Tell the Israelites to go forward. But you lift up your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide, that the Israelites may go into the sea on dry ground. Then I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, so that they will go after them. And so I will gain glory for myself over Pharaoh and all his army, his chariots, and his chariot drivers. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I have gained glory for myself over Pharaoh, his chariots, and his chariot drivers."
Do not be afraid. Stand firm and see the deliverance that the Lord will accomplish for you today. For the Egyptians whom you will see today shall never see again. The Lord will fight for you, and you will only have to keep still.
The angel of God, who was going before the Israelite army, moved and went behind them. It came between the army of Egypt and the army of Israel. One did not come near the other all night.
"Let us flee from the Israelites, for the Lord is fighting for them against Egypt."
Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea. The Lord drove back the sea by a strong east wind all night, and turned the sea into dry land, and the waters were divided. The Israelites went into the sea on dry ground, the waters forming a wall for them on their right and on their left. So Moses stretched out his hand over the sea. The Lord tossed the Egyptians into the sea. The water returned and covered the chariots and the chariot drivers. The entire army of Pharaoh that had followed them into the sea, not one of them remained. Thus the Lord saved Israel that day from the Egyptians.